Money, and Impact. I'm Suzanne Caldeira. I'm a mortgage lender and have been in lending for the past 24 years. Why the title Money and Impact? Well, a lot of my job deals with money, with figuring out, hey, how are people going to come up with a down payment? What are they going to do to maintain their properties, and so forth. And then the other part of the title is impact. And I've been really lucky over the course of my career and life to have met some impactful people. And that's the beauty of this show, is that I get to bring such awesome people together. And today, I want to say hello to Maggie Koosa.
Hello.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And you're with The Alchemist, and you are a financial planner. Why don't you let the viewers know a little bit about you?
A little bit about me. Well, I've been doing this for over 12 years. I used to be a high school math teacher. Instead of shaking my finger at children, I do that to adults now. And the children listen better, which is funny. I got in this because my parents got some really horrific advice. And if I had been in the industry, it wouldn't have happened. So when I transitioned out of education, I said, where do they need somebody like me? Financial services. So I got into it, and now I can help educate people and help them understand what they have going on and make better choices.
And what do you think keeps people from making those better choices?
They don't ask questions. A lot of people don't. They see it as, if I'm going to ask a question, I'm going to somehow show someone I'm ignorant and I don't know something, and they're very afraid of not knowing and getting taken advantage of. And oftentimes they don't know what they don't know, and therefore they don't know the questions to ask. But I've known a number of my people, I have people, not clients, a number of my people left their advisor because their advisor would just kind of talk high level, and they would sit there, and not understand anything that was coming out of their mouths. That lends itself to making poor choices and being caught off guard because you're not asking questions, become more informed because you don't feel comfortable doing so.
And why do you think many planners don't take that type of approach?
Oftentimes they don't realize that it's happening. Oftentimes they just want their clients to, well, I'm the professional here. I have the big desk. You come into my office and I'm gonna sound smart and intelligent, and that's all well and good, and I'm sure that they are, but they need to understand that the people that they're speaking to oftentimes don't speak insurance because it's its own language. They don't speak investment. I mean, you take a statement, half the statement is list of vocab and glossary, explaining vocab. It's like, if you don't know the words, you can't understand what's going on. So a lot of advisors don't understand and speak English instead of speaking investment or insurance. So.
And it almost seems like a vulnerable spot for the consumer to be in, because you're coming to this person with this trust, saying, hey, here's my life, here are my goals,
please help
my
me.
needs. Yeah.
Please help me.
And why don't they take as much of steps as I've seen you take? And I'm going to get into this the more we talk.
Well, I can't speak to everyone, but from the advisors that I have encountered, I've met some really good advisors, and they have really good intentions, and they do try, but oftentimes they stay within their wheelhouse. And so if I'm an investment guy or an investment girl, I'm going to do my best to help you with investments. But if that's my comfort zone and you're wandering into, I have a question about insurance, well, I'm going to kind of steer away from that because I'm not comfortable there. I'm not an expert in that. And therefore, I'm like, I'm going to steer the conversation back to, let's talk about investments and how investments can help handle any other concerns. So they try to stay within their comfort zone, which is a problem because a lot of times advisors we have to take tests, obviously, and get certified. Once they take the tests and they get certified, they stop learning. And you can't do that. Everything is changing. And so if you don't continuously have yourself stretching your comfort zone and learning about more things, like a lot of what you do, I didn't realize that you had transitioned into, getting into reverse mortgages type thing. And now I need to teach myself, okay, how is that tool potentially going to benefit my people? So I try to stretch out and I try to learn. You always be learning. Everyone says always be closing. No, always be learning.
Yeah, I did my own version of always be closing. ABC, always be connecting.
Yep.
Because if you're connecting, you're coming from a place of integrity. Now, and I know a lot of times with planners, you can't speak in the real specifics, when you're speaking to the public as we are.
Yep.
But what I'd like to know is, in your approach, what are some of the questions that you'll ask people to kind of uncover what some of those needs are?
So one of the first things I do with my people is kind of take a look at what they have going on. So for example, I'm meeting with a couple this afternoon, and I took a look at all their statements, and they have certain investments, maybe IRAs and 401ks, they have life insurance, they have all these different things, and I asked them, what was your intent? What's your intent for this money? What is your intent for this life insurance? What do you want it to do? And oftentimes they're like, I don't know, somebody told me I should have it or whatever. And so I try to uncover, all right, well, what's the plan? Where do you want to be? Oh, I want to retire in 5 to 10 years. I want to have 10 grand a month in post-tax income. I want to leave a legacy to my children. I have a couple, I want to leave $1 million of tax-free money to each of my children. I never want to worry about long-term care. I'm dealing with my mom and she needs it. And so you got to ask questions and actually listen and try to be present. I've seen a number of advisors when I first started out where they would ask questions with the intent of what I'm asking them is pretty much going to lead them to this product recommendation. So let me target the conversation so I can lead them and sell them this. I would encourage people, you have to ask questions because you want to learn about your people, you want to learn about what are their goals and aspirations, what are they worried about, what keeps them up at night. How can I help them better understand what they have? Where are the gaps? What priority do we want to give these gaps, and how are we going to address them? And it may be a product recommendation, it may be, but it may just be a strategy.
Now, with planners, are you all fiduciaries?
I would hope so. It boggles my mind that we needed a law that says you need to do the right thing every single time, and the right thing here is keeping your people their best interest at heart. That to me it's kind of inherent. Like that's not a thing. We don't all do that. But at one of my former firms, when that law came out, I was sitting at a meeting and we were having like a breakdown of something, sitting at the end of the table, and I was so excited. Guys, did you hear this? Now, people aren't going to be able to do this, that, and the other, and invest people in these things because it's not in their best interest, and they're actually going to be held accountable. The entire table just turned and looked at me, and I was like, wrong crowd. Okay, let me just drink my coffee. I was like, not everybody's excited about it because they're like, well, what if I wanted to put people in A shares and I want to get paid up front? And what about these fees? And I'm going to be losing money. It's not personal, it's business. And that infuriates me because there's nothing more personal than people's finances. You think about it. Your money that you earn, you've spent time away from your loved ones. You haven't taken vacations. You maybe didn't get to see a play of one of your children. You missed a baseball game. Like, you're spending time away to earn that money. There's nothing more personal than that. So how dare I, as an advisor and a planner, take that for granted and be like, no, it's fine. It's not personal, it's business. I don't want to leave money on the table. Frost my cupcakes.
Yeah, so that fiduciary, not many are, I can't say not many, but.
I was going to say, I would say more often than not, there is good intent there.
Sure.
But there are times where, the paycheck is in the back of people's minds, and that it shouldn't be. Like, for example, I don't know what I get paid, so I just suggested a product for one of my people. I said, well, what do you get paid on this? I have no idea. I can check, and I'll reach out to my life insurance or my annuity people, and I'll ask, and I'll totally find out for them because I'm transparent. He's like, you don't know? I said, well, no, that wasn't one of the questions I asked. Is this a top company? Is this going to be the most cost-effective way to do what we're looking to do? Yes? Does it have all the bells and whistles that we're looking for? What are the fees? Can I convert? Maybe if it's an annuity product, can I convert to a Roth? What are the capabilities? Does it have long-term care? I ask all these questions because that's what we're concerned about. I'm not concerned. I know that I'm going to get compensated. I'm aware. But that shouldn't even be part of the conversation. But oftentimes, life is life. Economics are what they are, and some people it does. It creeps into the bad.
Let's go back to the economics on the consumer end. Do you feel that there's a disparity between the haves and the have-nots, where maybe the have-nots don't know that there could be resources and there could be people like you that they should reach out to?
I've run into a number of people who are like, I would love to work with you. I don't have any money. I'll get back to you when I have money. I said, you realize that that's how millionaires start. They don't have money. I said, it's the habits, it's the strategies that help you accumulate. I said, so you're better off. I have a number of people who have kids. Well, they don't have any money. So no, introduce me, please. Because if we can start younger, they'll develop good strategies and good habits and have an understanding of money and how it works and credit and all sorts of different things, because who's going to receive their money? Their children or their beneficiaries, their nieces and nephews. And I said, and if the nieces and nephews and the sons and daughters do not understand how money works, are they going to be responsible with the money? No, they're not. They're going to blow through it. It's not a big deal. This is found money. It's like a tax return. It's found money. No. And again, oftentimes in my previous firms, the advisors that I was with would be like, you don't want to work with them. They don't have any money. Wait until the parents die, and then you follow up with the kids. What an awful thing to say.
Yes.
And I'm like, wait, you expect them to work with you. You haven't shown an ounce of interest in them. You probably didn't really talk to the parents all that much because you already had all their money, and you're going to swoop in and expect the children to work with you. That's adorable. That's not going to happen. I don't know how many advisors have lost clients because they'll only work with the husband or they'll only work with the wife. And what if that person dies and they pretty much like discounted the others? You can't do that. And the same with the children. If you're not going to connect with them and help them prior to them really needing you, why on earth are they going to trust you? There's no trust there. So.
What happened to your parents had a lot of impact on you.
Yes, it did. I love my parents, and my dad taught for the better part of 45 years, and he got advice from an insurance guy who was not licensed in investments and retirement planning, which is important. I mean, it's not the license itself, it's the training that they get, but he didn't have the knowledge base, and he didn't use 3 words that he should have. I don't know. And that's an okay answer. Let me find out. Let me find you a resource. That's one of the reasons why I developed my firm the way I did, because I want my people to have any and all resources that they need. So for example, when one of my people needed help, and I knew it was in your wheelhouse, I reached out because I trust you to do the right thing, and therefore, it's not in my wheelhouse, it's in yours. Let me reach out and get my people the resources they need. And that's why I have a team who handles Medicare and handles, home and auto insurance and handles IRMA and handles all these different things, because I can't be an expert in everything. And that guy should have asked for help. He should have reached out to a resource, because my dad had to go back to work, which infuriated us because he worked so hard. Like, that's not fair.
Yeah.
I used more salty language, but it's not fair.
Yeah, we can fill in bleep bleep.
Yeah. Yes.
How, besides it impacting you to do your business the right way, how else has it affected you?
Well, I don't just want to be an advisor. I built The Alchemist, so the tagline is your wealth concierge. And I got poo-pooed on that because everyone's a concierge. It sounds like you're in housekeeping or whatever. No, If you go to a strange city and you're staying in a nice hotel and you want a really good restaurant, who do you ask? You want to know where's the best parking. Hey, what's the best karaoke bar or whatever. You ask concierge because they have the hookup to everything. So I have my people calling me regarding everything. Mag, should I take out a loan? Should I take out a loan or lease? Should I put a new roof on the house? You know, should I get more than 2 or 3 opinions on this? Do you know any good contractors? I have questions on my mom's Medicare. It's not paying for this, that, and the other. Mag, I want to retire before the age of 65 and I need medical insurance. I get questions on everything. And they know that I either know or I have somebody. It's a very Rhode Island thing. I know a guy.
Yeah.
I know a guy. And I know a lot of guys. And they're trusting me to vet the people that I'm going to give to them, whether it's a CPA, it's an attorney, Medicare people. It could be roofers. It could be contracts. It could be people like I have a gentleman who helps people clean out for estate sales, and he's an appraiser. Great guy in Cranston. And that's what he does. And I trust him because he'll go in and tell you exactly what it's worth. And he's a very straight shooter, and he won't just say, oh, I'll give you this for it. And he'll tell you exactly what it's worth because he's looking out for the betterment of the people. So I have, over my career, collected a number of people who that's their jam. They're going to look out for your people. Even if they don't get paid on it, they're going to look out for the betterment of my people. And that's why I did it, because I don't want my people to ever be put in a position like my parents were, where the person they were working with didn't have the resources, didn't have the knowledge.
As you were creating your list of your guys to service your clients, was that something that started intentionally when you were at the other companies? Yep. Okay.
Well, I mean, you get started in the financial services industry, right? And it's like a revolving door.
Yeah.
But I was always encouraged, oh, you need to talk to CPAs and attorneys. They're going to feed you people to work with. Okay, that's cute. Knowing them, that's nice and all, but I found that more people work with me because of me, not their CPA sent them or their attorney sent them. I'm more likely to refer out than getting referred in. A lot of people don't actually make introductions, which is on them. I'm a big believer in introductions because I know that other people are experts in things that I don't. And I don't just want to work with people who are going to give me people to work with. I network in hopes of finding resources for my people.
So it's totally client-centered and wanting to serve them.
Yep.
Where do you get the most joy in what you do?
Telling people they can retire. Oh, I love that conversation. I have so many people who are like, oh, there's no way I can retire. I just helped a gentleman. He's retiring as of the end of the year. He has 2 young boys, and he's a single dad now, and he's raising the boys. And I was like, no, dude, you can do it. Pull the trigger. Let's do it. Yeah, but shouldn't I wait? Shouldn't I do this? Shouldn't I do that? Just stop with the shoulds. Can you get the income that you want and need for the boys and you into retirement and beyond? I was like, can we put you in a better spot? Yes, we can. Let's do it. Like, why wait? Life is short. So I love that conversation.
That must have just like filled you up because it almost sounds like he was incredulous at first. He didn't believe you.
He was like, no, I'm going to have to wait until full retirement age. I'm going to have to wait. I'm going to have to continue working. He's like, I don't mind what I do, but I really he'd rather spend time with the boys. Mm-hmm. And he lost his wife last year, which is heartbreaking. And so now he's dealing with that and dealing with the boys and helping raise them into good people. And he wants to spend more time, not less. And I said, life is short. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't think you're going to regret 2 years from now looking back, having the 2 years in retirement going, totally should have worked.
Yeah.
I was like, if you have the income and we can get you set up where you have security and we know and kind of let's map things out and Monte Carlo and all this planning and whatnot, and we put you in a better position, let's do it. And he was so excited. He was like, I told my boss. I told my boss, and he's like keeping me updated on things. I was like, that's awesome.
That is exciting. One of the things that I've admired about you is not only your collection of people that serve your clients, but how involved you get with those people, especially with CPAs and working on tax strategies and having them embrace it.
It's important. Well, honestly, I think financial advising is a team sport. Too many financial advisors see it as, I'm a great white, I swim alone. I don't want to work with anybody else. It's almost like a scarcity mindset where I'll work with other financial advisors. I don't mind. I don't have all the best ideas, you know, but it's, no, get away, let me guard mine. And if you don't have your financial advisor, your CPA, and your attorney all in the same boat, rowing in the same direction, you're not going to get to where you want to go. So I'm all about, I'm a team player. Like if I'm going to do a tax strategy, I need the CPA. I need the CPA on board. And they oftentimes are so focused on, I need to save you money this year. They're not thinking big picture. I'm all about big picture. If I can save you 10 grand in taxes this year, okay, that's nice. But if I can save you $1.5 million in taxes for your lifetime, I'm a fan of that. I mean, I'll pay the 10 grand if I can save 1.5 million. A lot of CPAs, they need education. Oftentimes it's the exact same thing. They're in their comfort zone and they haven't kind of branched out. So it's my job to educate my people, but also help their other support people, attorneys and CPAs, understand strategies as well. Because that's not their jam. That's not what they do. They do tax returns.
Have you ever gotten any pushback from a CPA saying, hey, I'm a CPA, I've got all these credentials or whatever?
I have.
Yeah.
You can't really argue with math.
Former math teacher.
Yeah. So I have multiple math degrees and a calculator collection, and they all say, I've done the numbers, so I'll have to walk them through. I'm like, I see your concerns. So this gentleman that we were just talking about, his CPA kind of pushed back on our tax strategy. I got you. Let's walk through the numbers, because I'm not just saying this because, oh, this is how I feel. No. The numbers don't lie. So hypothetically speaking, and you take it through different scenarios and walk them through the numbers, oftentimes, if they are not just, I'm just going to be obstinate because this is how I've always done it. I hate that phrase. This is how we've always done it. They'll take a look at the numbers and going, okay, this is not going to be as bad as I thought, because they just make the assumption, holy crap, that's going to be a lot of taxes. I'm like, but in the long run, like, let's take a look and let's compare. And you're patient and you walk them through. If they come in with an open mind, you're good. If they're going to be obstinate, oftentimes I'll say, well, this was very enlightening. And then I'll have words with my people going, if you're looking to reduce your tax bill, this may not be the CPA that you want to work with. Mm-hmm. You may want to reconsider, because if your team is not willing to work together, you may have to replace some teammates. And that may be a thing. It's like the financial advisor who got you through the accumulation phase may not be the right one to lead you through the de-accumulation phase. It's like climbing Mount Everest. You have one guide going up because that's a set of skills. On the way down, that's where most people die. The guide has to have a different set of skills to go down.
That's quite the analogy. Yeah. Now, and using that same analogy, right? You're the guide, you're taking them down. Mm-hmm. They were with an accumulator. I'm just using it as a term. But maybe they didn't accumulate the right way or have the strategies in the right way. You know, you mentioned your dad. Is there a way to kind of help to right the ship?
You can, to an extent.
Yeah. Okay.
To an extent, you can. I was not able to do that with my parents, but my parents were not savers. Mm-hmm. They had 4 kids. They put us through school. They were not savers. They were the epitome of, we can't afford it. We live paycheck to paycheck. And I'm like, I'm trying to get people out of that mindset. It's not you can't, it's how can I? Mm-hmm. So the earlier I get to people, the better, which is part of the reason why I'm doing more outreach now, because I don't want to ever have the conversation with somebody, I can't help you. I can't put you in a better spot. Like, I can't stand that. That's my worst, most hated conversation of, there's nothing I can do to improve your situation. And it's heartbreaking because I've only had it a handful of times, but I'm like, that stays with me a while because I'm like, I feel bad, but you can't get blood from a stone. And it's like,
Yeah. Well, besides that why that drives you, and you can tell that it drives you.
Yeah, I love what I do.
You've got your boys. Talk about those little crazy ones.
We got them June 6th, 2017. We got Roman. He's amazing. We got him, he was almost 2, and then Ashley was born a month later, and we got him July 14th. And then Lecky Lulu, as we call him, Lex, we got him January 12th of the following year. We fostered and adopted, and they're the light of our lives. They're like herding rabid cats, but I couldn't imagine my life without them. They're awesome, and it's my job to lead a good life and an example of raising good tiny humans so they can grow into the amazing adults that they're going to be. And hopefully, with the work that we're doing, we're going to be able to do more philanthropic endeavors because they come from rough situations, and there are a variety of different things that they all dealt with, like homelessness or domestic violence or drug abuse. And I want to do more philanthropic endeavors so that they can get involved in improving the various things that caused them to come to us in the first place.
Yeah. Do you feel like they get it? Do you feel like they get how impactful it is that you
Not
guys
yet.
adopted them? No?
Not yet. Not yet.
They're just there to drive you nuts?
Yeah. Well, they're just, they're thankful. There are times where they're very consciously aware of, wow, this is like we're living the life type thing. But then there are other times where it's like they take a lot of stuff for granted. But I think that's kids today. It's like, well, I broke this toy, you're going to get me a new one, right? No, that's not how this works. It's not how this works. You need to get a job and earn money, and we'll give them chores around the house so they can earn money because they, just like I was teach other people's kids, you need to understand the value of money. You need to understand how that works. And if I'm not going to have my own kids learn, how am I going to teach other people?
Yeah, I think it's a good, this is a good end spot. And for more info on today's guest, keep an eye out on the credits. And this is Money and Impact, and I'm Suzanne Caldeira. Thanks.